What's up, guys? It's been a while since I put out a YouTube video. And the main reason is because I don't like to follow a strict content schedule. And the reason I don't like that is because I feel that it really limits your creativity and forces you to just put out nonsense for the sake of the algorithm that isn't actually something you really feel is valuable. I would definitely rather take watching a YouTuber who puts out 2 or maybe 3, maybe even 4 banger videos in a month, as opposed to the guy who feels obligated to just write about, a ChatGPT generated list of important topics in your niche. I'm not about that. No shade on people who are, but that's just not what I do. I'm here in what's called the BX Trail outside of Vernon, British Columbia, Canada, and it's nice. Typically, it's a lot nicer because right now we've got some forest fires going on, and you may not be able to notice it just on camera, but there's smoke everywhere. In any case, I just wanted to come out and provide an update on anyone who does follow me here and just kind of sharing more about what's going on in terms of, let's start with financial. In terms of selling online, being a high ticket closer and everything, I am still doing it. I am still making money with it. And it looks like this slump that I've been experiencing for 2026 so far is really about to come to an end. In fact, you could say that even a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, that the slump came to an end because I started to generate a decent amount of money again. Nothing to really write home about, but enough to, if I were forced to, I could go back to Mexico and just live off it. But thankfully, I have a good family. Okay, that's what I wanted to make the main topic of this video. If you have a good family, if you have some kind of advantage in life that can help you in terms of making money on your own in large sums, that can help you in terms of living a quality life and having fun, and also, and most importantly, not feeling guilty about it, not feeling like you owe a whole bunch of people. Obviously, the most extreme and undesirable example of this would be being in debt to the mafia or something of that sort. And then a close next one would be being in debt to the banks, being in debt to businesses, what have you. That's not a good place to be either. I was never someone who could have ever imagined that I would end up in debt because I never had debt in my life. Never had debt in my life. I'll be right back with that. Never. If I did, I was able to pay it off, so I never actually carried a balance in full every single month without fail. And then the reason I was able to do that, not some kind of crazy logic, I was always working. I was always creating an income. And therefore, I was always covered. I didn't have to worry about something like that as long as I stayed within my means. But the problem is, and like most people who grew up middle class or even upper class, your means can kind of cap you. It can prevent you from wanting to take the next step and get more and actually taking those actions and making the necessary sacrifices because you grow accustomed to your means, and your brain is a survival mechanism designed to conserve your energy and keep you away from danger. Problem there is our brains were adapted to life 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 years ago, however long humans have been around and conscious. And so in the modern day, we're not getting chased in the savannah by jaguars. In the modern day, we don't have to fight against the elements just to live another day. We have incredible technology and we don't recognize it because, again, we're accustomed to it. We live with it every single day. When you go to other countries and you kind of see how they live over there, it can make you really appreciate what you have when you get back to your home country, which is most likely a Western country if you're watching this. the point I'm trying to make here without getting too much on a tangent is you cannot let the impositions of your family or the way that you grew up prevent you from venturing out and trying something different, especially when people say it's stupid or it's not going to work. Like the example of going out to a different country, no idea how you were going to do it, but you were going to make money online. And I did it, and I've been doing it now for a good 5 years in increasing and decreasing quantities. That's the kicker, and that's what a lot of people don't talk about. There's a massive, massive amount of what's called survivorship bias in the online marketing space. And the content creators, like literally anyone who is doing something on here to make an income, right? So they're going to make it seem like it's way easier than it actually is. It's in their best interest because a lot of them are trying to sell some kind of course or coaching program on the back end. So when people who are still stuck in what you would probably call a more traditional 9-to-5 or a W-2 role, and they aspire to not have to go into work on a Wednesday or get up a little bit later or have time to even just take their kids to school and grab a coffee and not be obligated to be at the office or be at the warehouse, whatever it is, at a certain time. Because let's face it, you only have so much time in the day. And at the end of the day, when you look back on every month, how much time are you expending going to work for someone else just to make money? We live in a day and age where you can make more money in a month than a lot of 9-to-5ers do in an entire year, and you can keep more of it. It's a great idea, and it's very tantalizing, right? But again, like creators, and going right back to the first thing I said in this video, creators who feel obligated, they have to maintain a posting schedule, they have to put up a certain amount of videos in a certain amount of time. To an extent, I agree that you have to use volume. That will get you in front of the algorithm and your target audience a lot more. But at the same time, it can come at the cost of your authenticity and having a really deep, valuable message to share with people that could also be considered to have just as much weight as 10 or 20 kind of watered down, simplified, contrived videos or productions. In any case, the thing to take away from this video, that I want you to take away from this video, is a couple of things. Firstly, if you're trying to get into the online space, which is still actually a lot of you, interestingly enough, and by that I mean just being able to make enough money from an online venture so that you can actually move to a different country. If you're still trying to do that, then you need to pay attention to the stuff that I'm going to be putting out in the next little while, because maybe you notice I do have a new camera. Now that I have a better setup, I'm a lot more motivated to upload a lot of great stuff for you guys. Okay, that's one thing. And more to the point, if you're looking to get into either sales or marketing or just figuring out how to achieve what I just mentioned, like not even talking about some crazy amount like 10,000 a month. For most people, like this is again a gripe I have with the online space. They're just like, oh my God, 10,000 a month is nothing. That's baby stuff. Once you get there, once you've achieved it, it can be. But what a lot of these guys have never experienced, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you view it, is they've never lost it. They've never hit that, maybe for a month or 3 months or 5 months, and then come right back down. Or maybe they have, and they're just lying, because I would be willing to bet that many of them have actually lost it, or at least they hit a peak and then their income dipped dramatically in the next month, next 2 months, and 3 months. It's just, again, a lot of people don't want to talk about that. It's like trading, right? How many traders do you see out there who are trying to make a name for themselves who never seem to post any losses? Or if they do, their wins are gigantic and their losses are minuscule in comparison. Because it's not going to make them look good. It's not going to make people want to follow them. And again, like, it's fine. So many people, they want to believe that it's going to happen super quick, that it's not going to require them to put in any more money, which is so foolish. Like, if you're going to go down this path, like, don't consider it to be a cheaper alternative to go into college. Like, it can be less expensive, but you are probably going to be very well served by investing in yourself and getting time with people who have already achieved the thing that you want. Just like in college, just like in a trade school or something like that. So a lot of people they kind of get lazy when they discover this and they think, oh, I can just manifest everything. Like, dude, you have to learn stuff. You have to get good at certain skills. And these are skills also that actually a lot of people are very good at. Like, it is appalling, for example, to actually take stock of how many people are unable to do basic math problems. I'll give you one right before we close out. I know this has become a longer video than originally intended. Consider this. If you want to get into sales, pay attention. You have a $10,000 product. The client wants in, but they cannot pay in full. They can't PIF. So you come to an agreement that you're going to do a 3-pay. On any payment plan, there is a 20% premium on that $10,000 ticket price. Now, they make their first payment that day. You as the rep, as the high ticket closer, are getting a 10% commission on every single payment. Okay, whatever it is that they pay out, you get 10% of it because you close that deal. So, first payment from the client comes in. What is the amount that you made in commission from this one sale so far? A lot of people can't answer that. And it's funny, I'm bringing this one up specifically because I was on an interview with what seemed to be really accomplished closers the other day. There were maybe 6 of them, and they were older than me, right? These are people maybe in their 40s or even 50s. And they were not able to answer this question correctly. I was the first one to answer. The answer is 400. $10,000 ticket, 20% premium, 3-pay, 4,000, 10% commission, 400. They couldn't figure that out. Math is actually a really fucking useful skill to an extent. You don't need to know calculus, but you need to know basic arithmetic and do it fast. People respect that a lot, especially in business. Things move quick. It shows that you're pretty smart. Secondly, writing coherent, grammatically correct, and eloquent sentences, using certain vocabulary to emphasize certain points, to convey certain emotions, but overall make it so it's not just rambling. Most people misspell easy words. They ramble on and on. They're unable to use punctuation to delineate when one thought ends and another begins. If you can do things like that, you're actually in a really, really, really good spot to take advantage of this stuff, because the average person struggles with these things a lot. With that in mind, not gonna keep droning on and on. Video's over. All the best.